What's going on, guys, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We are here today. We will be looking at all the trailers in American farming, going over all the information about it, along with the new patch that just came out for Android 4.50 and for iOS 4.51. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get directly into the video. If you could do me a favor, please like, subscribe, do what y'all do best. Let's get into it. We're just going ahead directly into the information about these things. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you have the Myers feed wagon, which also, ladies and gentlemen, will now accept hog feed from the store purchases points. And, ladies and gentlemen, another quick feature that I got to mention is also they added in the availability to restore all purchases. What that does is if you by chance buy a DLC and I believe you no longer want it or something like that, it will refund you your money, but it will take away your DLC's access. I believe it will also delete your vehicles that are in game. So, ladies and gentlemen, just keep that in mind if you do this. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's just kind of what the idea is. You can hit the restore. Of course, I'm not restoring because I don't want to lose my items, and you'll just get all your money back from the DLCs. I do not believe this affects the money. It may affect the money. It may not. I don't personally believe it will be. So, ladies and gentlemen, to actually demonstrate all these trailers and what they do, including this little bad boy right here, let's go ahead and jump into the Case IH Versatile. Now, we will also be going over the truss as well closer to the end of the video, just so y'all can get a good look at that. So this is your first thing you have, of course, which is the feed wagon. So the feed wagon works in two different ways. Now, this is one way this feed wagon actually does work. You can also do it in another way. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where you will buy your cattle feed and your hog feed. So if you want to, you can put hog feed in here now, which, as you can see, is slowly but surely filling it up. So this is the actual hog feed, and you can take this to your hogs and give them there. You can also buy your cattle feed from here. If you do not want to deal with the silage, you can do that. I still highly recommend just making your own, but if you just want to buy it and get it over with, that's simplest way to do it. It's that simple. You have one of these locations at both sites in the map. You just go there, use this, or use the other trailer that I'll be showing here in a little bit. You just simply fill up with the feed. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever see somebody talking about a harvester and they're talking about their cattle feed, this is what actually is called a harvester, this little blue silo right here. And you'll throw your feed into here, of course, load up in here, and you'll end up producing cattle feed over here. And then, of course, pig feed, you just feed those normal corn and so on and so forth. That's just pretty much what corn or soybeans, whatever they need. But you can, in fact, buy it if you have this wagon or the other trailer. And just some other quick information you may need about the Myers grain mixer. It will also require 90 horsepower and holds 9,400 pounds and costs a total of $30,000, which on the cattle farm you get this free, and of course on the pig farm you do not, because you really don't necessarily need it for the pig farm. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and the next up on the list of things that we need to go ahead and look at will of course be this Killsbro right here. So this is a standard Killsbro. This does have multiple configure operations. We'll look at it here in a second. You do have a rear hitch where if you do hook something up to the rear, you will need to walk back here and detach it just like a normal trailer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to say goes for both of these as well, but we'll go over the Killsbro, then we'll go over the Brent. So if you want to detach them, and once you attach them in the back, you'll just walk up here and you'll hit that little button in the corner and you'll just a simple detach, reattach. It's that simple. There is a little bit of a manual attachment with this. That is good information to know for the future. So this base version of this wagon holds 250 bushels and it only costs $4,200 in total. And the next option holds 325 bushels. It only costs $5,000 in total, and it adds a little bit of grain extensions to it just to make sure you're getting all your money out of it. Now the Brent, it don't get much different for her. She holds 550 bushels. She has a price tag of $30,900, and of course you can change her color from green or red for just a little bit more money. You can hold 650 bushels, which is $36,600. And then if you decide to get really fancy and you own 750 bushels, you can only have to pay $41,200. Now, I'll say this personally, you'll come out a little bit more ahead if you just stick to Killsbros. If you just make a stupid long line of Killsbros, you'll come out more ahead on the economy side than you would think. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I will say the more equipment you have on one map, the more chance your map does have to lag, and that's just purely based on your device, what your device can capably handle. I'm not responsible for telling you that, but if you have a device that's capable of it, I would run as many of these these as I could before I upgraded to one of those, because it's not like they really struggled that much. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot talk about trailers and wagons and all this fun stuff without talking about the new addition and the new content coming in this update, the V800 Brent grain cart. This will actually become the now cheapest grain cart, alongside that the smallest grain cart allowed in American farming at this moment in time. It is definitely the best starting grain cart you could ever ask for. Now, if you are looking for a grain cart that has right off the bat the best statistics you could ever want, this grain cart right here holds 850 bushels, only requires 180 horsepower. That is ridiculously small for this size of a grain cart. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, you can also change the color from red or green for free. Alongside that, only has a price tag of $70,000 at your starting point. If you want to upgrade your bushels to 1,100 bushels, it does require 225 horsepower, alongside that with a price tag of $132,000. Now, you can still upgrade this and change colors, but there's still more options. Now, say you don't like wheels and you like tracks. Now, it does come with a hefty price tag with the same horsepower and the same bushels, but you actually have tracks instead. You are looking at $167,000. If you want to hold 1,500 bushels, this is your cart for you, and it also has the track version along with it. That will only require 300 horsepower alongside that, with $197,000 out of your pocket. So this is definitely for content coming straight out of the bag. I got to give it to them. This is like the best update to do at this moment. It gives us another grain cart that we can use. I know there's a lot of people I've seen in the forums and stuff like that say that they want more options of smaller equipment, and this is the correct step in that way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're also wanting just to have more storage overall, look no further than the grain cart 1596 from Brent. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this grain cart, of course, works just like all the other grain carts. You put the spout out, and there you go. This grain cart right here holds 1,500 bushels, requires 300 horsepower, has a price tag of $186,000. Now, real quick thing, if you really like tracks, I would go with the V series, because you can get this exact same grain cart with the V series. If you don't like the tracks too much, you want to save just a little bit of money, I recommend going with this one right here, and it will actually save you some money and not be as bad for you. Now, of course, you do have the option change between red and green. Pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen, about this one. It's really simple. I'm gonna go ahead and directly move on to the next grain cart, which, ladies and gentlemen, is another one what holds 1,500. It is a tracked version of the one we just looked at. Now, this one is a DLC. This is part of that big equipment pack, but this only requires 300 horsepower. $198,000 is all it requires, and I believe it has another option, yep, which is bigger, which this is the biggest grain cart we've looked at so far, which requires 500 horsepower, holds 2,500 bushels, and it costs $227,000. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot talk about grain carts without talking about Balzer, which is one of the fan favorite grain carts. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will say this: these are known in the world as the biggest grain carts in the world. Balzer does hold this for some of the biggest equipment. I want to give them their shout out, and with their triple axle for their grain carts, having to hold too much. So, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is the Balzer 2850. This holds 2,800 bushels, requires 500 horsepower. Alongside that, has a total price of $210,000. And of course, for everybody who likes to save money and saying, that seems interesting, you actually, if you go and buy the one from the DLC, that is the biggest option. You're actually losing a little bit of money. You are losing $1,200. Alongside that, you're also having 300 less bushels than normal. I do highly recommend going with the Balzer, but ladies and gentlemen, if you just like Brent, go with this. Like, I'm not telling you not to choose it because of their price tag. I'm just telling you what I would do if I was in your situation. And ladies and gentlemen, we have to move on to the trucks. Now, of course, we have here all squad built trucks, so we should just be able to get through them pretty easily. These are the 4 trucks that are in the game. Of course, you have your older truck here. You have your newer, like F350 type truck. You, of course, have your cab over, either Peterbilt or Kenworth. I think it's Peterbilt. And then, of course, your nice old Kenworth right here. The first truck here only costs $5,000, has a horsepower of 150, holds 48 gallons of diesel. Alongside that goes 50 miles an hour. Now, the squad built truck, a base model one, will cost you $40,000, has 475 horsepower, holds 48 gallons of gas, and goes 50 miles an hour. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can customize this truck tenfold. You can have standard chrome, standard aluminum, blacked out. Like, you can do a lot with this truck. Put a sunroof on, put mud flaps, a grill bumper, aluminum grill bumper. stairs, upper stairs, so in a toolbox standard. Now, of course, heading over to the cab over. So, of course, your cab over is $888,000, has 425 horsepower, holds 240 gallons of diesel, and goes 50 miles an hour, which it is also your cheapest option when the next best option has 500 horsepower, holds 240 gallons of gas, goes 50 miles an hour, and has a grand total of $165,000 for this truck. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot talk about this without talking about the trailers for the semi trucks and the pickup trucks. So let's just go ahead and get into it. This right here, your semi grain hopper, holds 1,100 bushels and only costs you $58,000. It is a dual system, but if you just one tap and it goes and it unloads. This is your milk tank. It holds 8,000 gallons, only has a price tag of almost $60,000. It's not that bad. If you're doing the dairy farm, which has a lot of money in it, you have to have this no matter what. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot mention this stuff without at least mentioning this right here. Semi feed tanker. This, ladies and gentlemen, holds 480,000 pounds. Alongside it has a $130,000 price tag. And of course, with this, you can go to that place we showed earlier and put cattle feed, or you could put pig feed in this just to feed your animals faster and hold a lot more and not have to do it yourself. We've kind of went over this already before. This is in fact your cattle hauler. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you take this to the cattle market, fill up or unload your cattle from it. It's a 45-foot trailer, costs $80,000. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we have here the stages of animals just so we can take a look real fast. Now, starting here, you have 86 is what you can hold of sows. Weaned, you can hold 100 at a time. Beef cows, you can hold 30. Yearlings, 38. And dairy, you can hold 30 as well. And that's all you can hold in the cattle hauler for animals. Now, we'll also say this, ladies and gentlemen, a little fun fact. If you have a semi-truck trailer, you can actually hook up to any gooseneck. So if you do have something that you want to get done as a gooseneck, just hook it up to your cattle hauler. I mean, your semi-truck. You can get it done as fast as you can. Don't have to worry about power at all. And of course, for the regular gooseneck trailer, you can hold 28 sows, you can hold 27 weaned, 8 regular beef cattle, 10 yearlings, and of course, 8 regular dairy cows. And ladies and gentlemen, now we are here to the last segment of today's video, which is of course your Landau trailers and all your MXD trailers. So of course, we're going to start off with the big Landau. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you will have to purchase in the two parts. You have the $10,000 part, which is your actual connecting and disconnecting part, and then your actual bed, which, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the bed only costs $125,000, and of course, what I call the head will be only $10,000 to buy, which together puts this at a $135,000 trailer to buy. Now, again, you have your quick disconnect over here. You cannot disconnect that from the cab. You'll just do that real fast. Get inside of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you just want to simply load it up, you just got to drive it up to here and see it's loaded up. Hit that little button right there. You'll move it where it needs to be and put it onto the trailer. Now, of course, I hear you ask, Nathan, can you hold multiple vehicles at one time? Of course you can. All you got to do is just simply back this on up here, drive it up here, hit the little lock button, and it will move it to where it needs to, and it will lock it down. Now, your trailer's not going nowhere. The little indicators right there are how you know you have it. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you have like a trailer, you can just walk up to it and hit that button and let it lock down. Now, I will say the one thing I don't like is you cannot actually lock down like grain carts and gravity wagons. That is a negative side to it, but you can put on, of course, like your bigger equipment, like your tractor here, lock her down, and it will put out the ramps like that. Now, this is another little fact that you can actually attach and detach that right there, but back on up with this right here and simply just attach it, and you have your truck and your tractor ready to go. There we go. We're ready to rock and roll with our truck and trailer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will go ahead and mention these over here. Now, these all kind of work the exact same, except you just unfold the ramp, and of course you just drive it up on the back. We will be using the truck to demonstrate all these real fast. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where things get a little bit different. For these right here, you just come back here, hit this right there, that little button, and now you take your truck or whatever you're wanting to load up and you load it up. Of course, you hit that little button right there, which it will correctively put it on there. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, to follow the ranch, you just walk back up here, hit that button. Now, for this one right here, you do have to be up here close to the front next to this little box up here. Hit that button right there and your ramps completely fold back, and you can load bigger stuff like your semi-truck trailers and all that kind of stuff will be able to be loaded up onto here. Same process, you lock, you unlock. You can actually unfold and refold them like this right here. But let's go over the statistics of all these. So starting off with the pool bed is 22 foot, costs $15,000. You can take it all the way up to a 30 foot, which will cost you $18,000. Now, of course, your gooseneck trailer with the rear ramp starts at 30 foot and goes to a 40. Your 30 foot would cost you $28,000, and your 40 foot will cost you $33,000. And of course, your pure flatbed starts at 26 feet. Alongside that comes with a price tag of $23,000 and can be upgraded to a 40 foot, which is $37,000. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, they did many other improvements to the map and so on and so forth. They've done a lot of different stuff, ladies and gentlemen, to help reduce the memory needed so it can make your game run smoother. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you have any problems at all with the American Farming stuff, please go down. The links are down in the description for the American Farming Discord page. Myself and many other admins are in there, always helping you people out. But thank y'all so very much from me, the entire team. Peace!